We have been, as a country, in, and to put it mildly, we've faced unprecedented challenges since the election of Donald Trump in November, and more recently since his inauguration January 20th. I want to share with Canadians how much being able to say we are Team Canada, being able to ride on the strength of the Canadian people standing up, grabbing a flag and waving it, and saying we are united, has given us a strategic advantage that Donald Trump never imagined we'd have. I can share that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has engaged with, and people have seen this, not only all the premiers, but all the opposition party leaders a number of times since the U.S. election, when Trump began to talk about 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States. An unjustified threat that violates a number of existing trade agreements. Worse than that, we now know that Trump continues to express an interest in taking our territory, just as he does about, as in his speech to Congress the other night, Greenland will get it one way or the other. These are illegal threats. But Canada has stood fast, we've stood firm, and we've been united. So I want to share again, I think it's been a big part of our success in pushing back on Trump, that December 3rd we met in person here in West Block in the Cabinet Room. The Prime Minister, the Leader of the official opposition, the Leader of the New Democratic Party, the Leader of the Bloc Québécois, all of us together to say we are Team Canada. We've met since then a number of times. The last time was February 2nd on a conference call. I was already on my way to Washington by train, and I said to my colleagues, the Prime Minister, the Leader of the official opposition, the Leader of the NDP, the Chef du Bloc Québécois, the message I'm taking to Washington, I want to make sure it's a message that comes from all of us. What is the message that I'm taking on behalf of Team Canada? The message was clear. Tell them we are united. We will not back down. It's important. It's part of our ability as a country to stare down the increasingly erratic, unhinged threats from Donald Trump. But now we're on the verge of an election. We can already see how the tone changes. We're already seeing the Liberal attack ads against the Conservative attack ads against the Liberals. How do we stand firm as Team Canada and say we're united? The premiers, all federal parties, united. My fear as we go into this next election, which we think will happen very soon, is that unless we sit down and meet with each other, and I mean all party leaders meet together soon.
Called consistently for the House of Commons to be unlocked. Justin Trudeau and Team Carney have decided to padlock Parliament.
The election campaign opens up two big risks for Canada. One is that divisions that will emerge in the cut and thrust of a partisan elbows out against each other showdown will open up possibilities for Trump and his henchmen in the chaos and uncertainty they are creating to use the tactic of divide and conquer, to hurt Canada by using Poilievre's words against Canada, or using Carney's words against Canada. How do we stand united in an election campaign? This is where the call for leadership is right now. Not who is best able down the road after an election to defend Canada from unfair, retaliatory trade actions or worse from the United States. We're in that fight now. It's not a future threat. It's now. So how do we continue to stand firm as Team Canada going into an election? This is where the call for leadership Canadians want to see real leadership. And that's why Greens are standing up now and saying, we can do this, but not if we engage in a conventional, hyper-partisan election campaign.
Right.
We can do this if we meet right now. I'm directly calling to the new leader of the Liberal Party, Mark Carney, and to the leader of the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre, as well, of course, as my colleagues in the Bloc and the NDP, that we sit down together and review the options for staying firmly Team Canada while in an election campaign. Now, there may be other options, but the one that has historical reference points, the one that could work, and that Mark Carney must put in place before he names his own Liberal cabinet, is to bring together what would, in historical terms, be called a war cabinet.
Oh, no. No.
An inner cabinet that focuses on one thing only: how to protect ourselves, how to protect Canadian sovereignty, protect Canada's economy from the threat from the United States. To have legitimacy, that inner cabinet must include members of all parties. That's the historical reality of when Mackenzie King created a war cabinet in the Second World War. Winston Churchill had a war cabinet in the Second World War.
What the hell are you talking about?
To have legitimacy, to be able to take steps that are necessary, it has to include cross-party cooperation.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
On the very limited set of things that Canadians want to see us continue to do as a government to protect our country.